In 1971, a turning point in history took place. East Pakistan, today's Bangladesh, declared independence after a long and painful struggle. But let's imagine for a moment. What if Bangladesh had never separated from Pakistan? Would the balance of power in South Asia, India's dominance, and even the global economy have taken a completely different path? Let's explore this alternate history scenario step by step.
Historical background. In 1947, with the partition of India, Pakistan was born as two separate wings, West Pakistan, today's Pakistan, and East Pakistan, today's Bangladesh. They were divided by 1,600 kilometers of Indian territory. East Pakistan had the majority of the population, but was politically and economically sidelined. This imbalance eventually led to the separation in 1971. If the split never happened? What if the historical split had never occurred? Today, a united Pakistan in Bangladesh would boast a colossal population of approximately 400 million. This would position it as the second most populous country in the world, trailing only India. Such immense demographic power would fundamentally alter the nation's influence on the global stage. Geopolitical and military impact. The unified state would gain significantly greater weight and influence, militarily and politically. The potential of a 400 million strong population could unlock the doors to becoming a regional and even global power, both in terms of military manpower and economic resources. One of the most significant repercussions of this scenario would be the creation of a much stronger challenge to India's regional dominance. A single large neighbor, rather than a two-front border, would necessitate a radical reshaping of India's strategic calculations. Mastery of strategic location. Geographically, this united country would possess an incredible strategic advantage. It would control access to the Arabian Sea in the west, while simultaneously opening a direct gateway to the Bay of Bengal in the east. This dual-flanked maritime access would grant it unparalleled geopolitical leverage, both for international trade routes and naval mobility. This position could elevate it to one of the most critical maritime powers in the Indian Ocean.
Bangladesh today is one of the world's leading textile exporters. If it were still part of Pakistan, Pakistan's industry, combined with Bangladesh's low-cost labor, could have created a massive manufacturing hub. The nation would gain two powerful trade gateways, the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal. This might have turned Pakistan into an economic rival to both India and China. India's nightmare, a united Pakistan, and geopolitical pressure. If Pakistan had never been divided, the power standing opposite India would be far more than an ordinary neighbor. A united Pakistan would have become a much larger, much more formidable rival for New Delhi. In this scenario, India would find itself encircled by a single superpower on both its eastern and western borders. This geographical encirclement would place India under constant strategic pressure, forcing a radical overhaul of its defense plans and military deployments. As a result, the military balance in South Asia would be dramatically disrupted. The region's dynamics could have shifted into a more tense, Cold War-like environment, characterized by the continuous rivalry of two equal powers. This situation could have ignited not only border conflicts, but also fierce competition over spheres of influence and international alliances. Of course, such a union would face internal problems. The official language of Pakistan was Urdu, while the majority in East Pakistan spoke Bengali. If these cultural differences were not resolved, tensions would continue. In other words, a united Pakistan may have looked strong from the outside, but it could have been problematic from the inside. Of course, these problems could have been addressed by prudent and well-analyzed managers who understood society's expectations and produced solutions. Global impact. If Pakistan and Bangladesh had stayed together, China would have a much stronger ally in South Asia. U.S. policies in the region would shift significantly. The Cold War might have been even more tense, with South Asia as a major hotspot. The fate of an undivided Pakistan, triumph or internal strife. In conclusion, if Bangladesh had not broken away, the fate of South Asia could have been dramatically different. Today, we would likely be looking at a Pakistan that was far larger, stronger, and strategically much more advantaged. This united state could have emerged as a global player, not just through its military might, but also via its access to both the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal. However, on the flip side, this potential magnitude would have brought its own internal conflicts. The cultural and linguistic differences between East and West Pakistan would not have been a mere issue of accommodation, but a deep fault line threatening the state's integrity. For a single central government to hold together both the Pashtun and Punjabi cultures alongside Bengali identity would have been an almost impossible task. So could this power have overcome its internal divisive tendencies? Could a united Pakistan have surpassed India both economically and militarily? Or was this union simply doomed to an inevitable internal fragmentation over time? This topic represents one of history's greatest what-if questions. Do you believe a united Pakistan possessed the potential to rise as a superpower, or was it ultimately destined to fracture from within due to its internal tensions? Share your thoughts. We have come to the end of another video. See you in our next videos.